Hey guys, welcome back. So today, I think we're going to be making a new feeder for the goats.
Yeah, the boys don't share very well, so.
No, there's definitely a dominance problem out here. So, of course, Dexter is the dominant goat, and he does not want Chewy eating from the hay feeder back here, and he normally kind of fights him away from it. And then the second problem is his horns.
Yeah, his horns are pretty big.
Yeah, so his horns are so big he can't get his face hardly in there to eat. And we've got these bars on the front of this one where you got to kind of put your head through that. And it doesn't really work out real well with these goats that got big horns. So we're going to try to make a different feeder that doesn't have any bars to fit their head through.
Yeah, and I think this feeder will work better for the girls.
Yeah, we're going to move this one, to the barn for the girls so we can feed them full bales of hay in there instead of having to give them a couple flakes a day or whatever. So the new feeder we're going to build is actually, another thing is it's going to be a two-sided feeder. It's going to be close to a traditional style of hay feeder. And being two-sided, I'm kind of hoping that that maybe Dexter can eat from one side and Chewy can eat from the other, and maybe they won't chase each other off, and maybe they'll both get a eat at the same time without having a fight about it. So
yeah.
But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start building the hay feeder. We only got like a couple, 2-3 hours left of daylight, so we're going to try to buzz through this pretty quick and see if we can make a hay feeder today. So let's get to it. Sawhorse.
You are.
Let's try that. So in the video when we hung the barn quilt, I was trying to put this DeWalt drill in my pocket and try to carry it up a ladder that way, and ended up having a subscriber send me a clip that actually fits this drill so I can hang it on my pocket. So that was Joe and Chrissy sent me this pocket or this clip for the DeWalt, and I think it's going to come in pretty handy. All right, I think that's going to work out pretty good. That clip's big enough. I could hang it on my belt, or I could hang it on my pocket. Yeah, it'll be a lot. This will be pretty handy. I gotta cut it down. It's too big. It's only gotta be 30 inches wide. So I'm trying to put this hay feeder together, and this is a 48-inch wide opening. It's the width of a sheet of plywood. So I've cut a cattle panel down with the intention of putting it inside to hold the hay. But the problem is this is about 48¼ inches or 48�3/8 inches. It's just a little bit too big to fit in there. And I've tried forcing these in there and it's not working. So my problem is I'm going to end up having to cut this very last vertical off of it to get it to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I'm going to probably have to put another board on the side to be able to staple each one of these horizontals down to help hold everything secure. So not working out exactly the way I wanted, but we're still going to make it work. Right on the last screw. Look at that. Figures. So we got the hay feeder built and we still got a little bit of sunlight left. So this hay feeder is a little bit taller than the last one we built. This bottom shelf is about 20 inches off the ground, and the intention is for the goats to be able to kind of jump up there with their hooves and eat out of it that way. And since they're going to be jumping, onto this, that's why I put the bigger runners on the bottom. I think that'll just help stabilize everything with the goats putting their weight on it. But I think this is going to work out pretty good. I think this is designed to fit a whole bale of hay. At least that's what we're going to try to do. But let's go ahead. We're going to load it up, take it over to the goat pen, and swap it out. Goats, get out of the way. Here you guys go. So we got the hay feeder all set up now, and we did fit a full bale of hay in here. So I think this is going to work out pretty good. There's no bars here on the front, so Chewy with his big horns should be able to get in here and eat no problem. In fact, when he stood up here with his hooves, it looked like he'd be able to even eat out of the top. So I think this is going to work out pretty good. It gives two sides so that the goats can separate a little bit and eat, and maybe they won't fight so much over the hay. So we're going to go ahead and head up to the barn now, and we're going to put that other feeder in there for the girls. Well, I'm glad to finally have a feeder out here in the barn that holds a full bale of hay. That'll help us out this winter when feeding the goats. We won't have to take hay out to them as often. Now you can see that this feeder is a little bit low with them eating in it right now. It can stand to go up a few inches. So these legs, I can't adjust these legs. I can take them off and adjust them. So I'll probably raise this up about 6 inches, make it a little bit taller. And then there is like a hinged lid that fits on the top. And I'll probably put that on there. It's not going to totally prevent it, but it'll help keep chickens from making nests in there. I think it should help a little bit. So it's been a couple days now since we put this new hay feeder in here, and I have seen the goats eat out of it just fine. And to me it looks like there hasn't been a lot of wasted hay. It looks like it's working out pretty good. So you got this cattle panel that they have to try to pull the hay through, and it just kind of prevents them from pulling a whole big wad of hay out at a time. And there's several different sizes of these stock panels. This is just what I had on hand. So you can get these in 4x4 squares, even 2x2 squares, and make it real tiny and make it a lot more work for them to be able to pull the hay out. And we'll just wait and see how this stock panel works here, this cattle panel. And but right now my first impression is it's working better than the last feeder. So I think this is going to work out. If they do stand on it, they can actually kind of reach over and eat out of the top a little bit. But when they do that, look, he can even stand in there. When they do that, they can pull out a lot more hay. So we really don't want them to eat out of the top. So I know it's only been a couple days since we built the hay feeder, but I can already tell it's going to be a big improvement. The goats, when they reach in there and get the hay, they pull out a smaller amount to eat, and that means there's less chance of hay getting dropped on the ground. So I think this is going to work out pretty good. Now the last feeder had slats. It had like wooden slats about 6 or 8 inches apart, and when they went to pull out hay from there, a lot of times you'd start pulling a whole flake out, you know. I mean, it would start pulling a big wad of the hay out, and then that would all get pulled onto the ground. So I may modify that other hay feeder, take the slats out and put one of these cattle panels in there instead, and then maybe it'll waste less hay also. So this is one of those projects where we kind of just threw something together real quick. I didn't have any plans, nothing drawn out. I just had a sheet of plywood and some 2x4s, and me and Rebecca went out to the barn, and I kind of sketched on the piece of plywood a little bit and kind of come up with some measurements, and then we just cut it out and started putting it together. And I think it turned out pretty good. It's not the best looking hay feeder in the world by any means, but I think it is sturdy, and I think it'll last a long time with these goats. It's not made to be out in the weather or the rain or nothing like that. It'll always have to be under a roof. But yeah, I think this is going to last a long time with these goats. I mean, these guys only weigh like maximum, 100 pounds or something. So I don't think that they're going to tear this thing up too bad. I think it'll last. So that's one more job off the to-do list. I think the list is getting pretty small now. So we've put the culvert in. We've cleaned out the barn. We've cleaned out the chicken coop. We've got the pigs ready to load. We've built a hay feeder. Yeah, I mean, I think we've got most of the small jobs done now. So now it'll be time to go back to the pasture fencing. I want to get that done before it gets cold and the ground freezes. So I did buy some more tools for doing the fencing, so we'll probably do things a little bit differently this next go around. And yeah, hopefully we'll get the pasture all fenced in, and then we can finally look at getting some more animals. But I think that's it for today, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.